and what success really means, I'd like to share with you and your audience.
Yes, please.
I'm working at Stewarts Cleaners. I come there one day after John Marshall High School. That was my job after high school. I swept the floors, I brushed the blankets, I put the little drapes on the hangers and all that good stuff. So I came there, and Stewart, who was tight, this guy was so tight he squeaked when he walks, really a tight one. He had to pay me $1.25 an hour because it was required for young people. You could not pay him less than that, okay? Or he'd pay me 50 cents an hour. So I go there one day.
This is in the late 50s now?
No, this is now going into the late 50s. Yeah, it would be the late 50s, early 60s, late 50s. Anyways, Stewart said to me, I want to talk to you, Johnny. That's what they called me in those days. I said, okay. And I said, oh my God, what did I do wrong? You know, he says, last night I was working late. And that little mezzanine where we have the cot upstairs, I wanted to rest a bit. So I went up there, took my wash off, put on the little table, and it dropped on the floor. Now this is a cot where those old spring cots that are open on the bottom, a little mattress on top. He says, I reached down to get it, and I noticed under the cot, there wasn't any dust. He said, I just moved it. So he used to move this thing, and the filing cabinet's behind, there was no dust. He says, you move everything when you clean it, as if I'm washing you all the time. I said, Stewart, I like my job. My mom growing up had my brother and I clean the house. We would do dishes, everything. We were part of it. You hired me for a job. I'm going to do it whether you're looking or not. He says, I've never, ever had anyone work for me that does that well. I'm going to give you a raise. You're now making $1.50 an hour. Now, where I went to high school, for those kids that even were lucky enough to have a job, I probably was the highest paid kid at the time.
Sure.
But it showed me this. What is success? Success is not how much money or how much power you have. Success is how well do you do what you do when no one else is looking and keep on doing it. Successful people do all the things unsuccessful people don't want to do. And my two biggest suggestions to people that are entrepreneurs, working for someone or working for yourself as an entrepreneur, is two things. One, be prepared for a lot of rejection. You're going to get it. Selling encyclopedias, the average lifespan is 3 days. It's door-to-door, commission only, all work, no leads.
And everyone says no.
Oh, no, they say no, oh, God. But they told me, and I believed them, that when you do it, if you knock on 50 or 100 doors and they slam it in your face, it's the guys that have that energetic attitude to keep on going. And don't let it get you. Knock on door number 100 just as enthusiastic as door number 1 and you'll succeed. And he was right. I don't know if it was 100 doors, 150 doors. Nobody would let me in. Finally let me in. Did I make the first sale? No. But I eventually, after a week, made a sale. And I believed what they said. So one of the great things is, if you're ready for rejection, whether it's your parents, your friends that say, you don't have enough money, you don't look like this, you're not that, no one's going to like you, we hate your idea, no matter what it is, you're going to get rejection. When people say no, 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 you know you're going to get it. Be prepared for rejection. If you're prepared, it's not going to hurt you as much. The second thing we already covered, go into the reorder business. Have the quality of your product or service so darn good, people are going to reorder and use it again.
Yeah. Why do you think now, especially, so many people are afraid of rejection? I feel like people don't want to launch something, their business idea, their book, a podcast, whatever it is, because they're so afraid of what might happen wrong.
Why is that? An unbelievably perfect question. What world are we looking in today? Okay? An example, politically, no disrespect, so you know where I stand politically. I am an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I actually give to both parties, but only individuals that I like or think are going to do something. So I'm not in the middle, right? Yeah. But what do I see around me? This is not America. If you're, for example, God forbid, someone that puts up a Trump sign, not that I agree with them, okay, but someone puts up a stop sign, it's, oh, you're a racist. Right. Oh my God, you don't believe in freedom and you don't believe in ecology. Well, no, wait, hold on. You don't have to say that to people. They may be wrong, you may believe differently, or vice versa. You know, oh no, we should be socialistic, everybody should have everything free. It's like, well, wait a minute, why are you segregating? America is we the people of the United States of America. I don't care if you're to the left, to the right, express your opinion and don't put somebody down for their opinion. But whether someone is right or somebody is wrong, we've got to stick together. We can't have a split nation. And I think if we go forth with love and realize that it's going to be good in everything we do.
Sure, yeah. Is that why you think people are afraid to say something, to launch a business, to create something in the world, because they're going to get so much hate or backlash or rejection?
That is correct.
Because they're just afraid of the world.
A lot of people are afraid because they look at both sides, how everyone is putting everybody down. As this one is saying, if you vote for them, you're going to start losing jobs, the economy is going down. Now, whether that's right or wrong, who knows, right? The other side, if you vote for this guy again, whatever, you know, look at all the misery that's going to happen, wars, everyone hates us. I mean, it's one against the other.
Yeah.
Well, of course you'd be afraid. And then we're through a time in our lives where a lot of people aren't working. A lot of people are saying a lot of things about other people. One of the great rules of life, and this guy wrote this great book, was it the 4 and 5 Agreements?
The 4 Agreements.
4 Agreements. And then you want to call it 5 Agreements. One of them in there is the most important agreement of it all. And it is this: do not spread gossip or put anybody down. You start spreading the wrong information to people, and all of a sudden you find out you were wrong. They told someone else, they told somebody else. You're destroyed. Now you find, oh no, it wasn't true. One of them is, don't be around people that gossip. Stay away from that. If there's bad news, don't give it out.
Yeah.
Look at the higher side, the positive side, because you tell one person, and if they're low on the tone scale, they're going to tell another. And if someone's really down, they're low or angry or upset, they're going to say, oh yeah, this is the truth, and tell others to kind of agree with how they're down, how everyone should be down, because look how bad things are. Opposed to, no, things aren't that bad. That's why I'd love to share the story with you and your podcast. You let people see the truth. By people knowing I started Paul Mitchell with $700. My partner threw in $350. My mom put in some money, not even knowing that's what she was doing, and I put a little bit. America still works. It's we the people. All this negativity, don't pay attention to it. Look at the higher side. Yes, there's things wrong. There have been things wrong with our lives for millenniums. My God, maybe for lifetimes, okay? But each time we're getting better.
Yeah.
Each time.
Yeah.
Whether you like that president or not that's in there, there's something good you could find out that's been done to please all of us.
Sure.
Look at the upper side. Look at the past people. There's something good that's being done. And when you move forward, if you move forward with a positive attitude, no matter who becomes president, you help our country become better instead of stalling and saying, well, I'm not going to do anything because I don't like that president.
Sure.
It's we the people of the United States of America, and it's we the people on business. Don't be afraid. Put your message out there. Put it out there. It's okay. So many people are afraid to put their message out because, well, that might be too much this way, too much that way. Ooh, people may consider that instead of solar energy, it's a new form of energy. I've been only talking about solar energy, otherwise I'm going to be big in trouble, you know?
Right.
Be free. God wants you to be free. He created you in His image. He wants you to be free to speak your word. If someone doesn't agree, that's their problem. But don't put anybody down for saying their word or in their products or their and don't be afraid to start something. People, we started Paul Mitchell when it was the worst scenario ever with no money. We weren't afraid. We believed in ourselves. With all the doors closed, we kept on going forward. When the going's tough, the tough get going.
That's true, yeah. It seems like people are more afraid of the fear of rejection than actually being rejected. It's like they've never even been rejected, but they're just afraid that it might happen in the future. How does someone learn to overcome the fear of potentially being rejected?
Great question, okay? First of all, what is fear? Fear is the unknown. It's the only reason people are afraid. They're afraid because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what this person's going to do. They're afraid. They don't know the outcome. So if you're fearful, find the problem or find the unknown. Even in a problem, there's an unknown. When the unknown is exposed, there's no longer a problem. Find the unknown and go forward. And don't create things because they don't exist.
Were you ever afraid of rejection personally, or since you were just doing door-to-door for so long and tried so many different things that you would experience so much rejection that you embraced it? Is that how you overcame the fear of it?
I could tell you the one that is the funniest of them all. I'm 11 years old. I'm in Atwater, California, walking up Boise Street, I think it was, with my friend Michael Vucic, who sold papers with me. And we came up with the greatest idea. Let's make a song. We'll go together with our newspaper in hand. We'll go door to door. We'll split the orders. We got $1 for every new order, by the way. That was a lot of money when we were kids, right? We'll split it, and together we'll present it, and we came up with a song. And the song was, good evening, we're the Examiner boys. If you'll subscribe to the Examiner, we'll sing a song for you. Ooh, like that, right? So Michael and I never did this before. We went to our first door, knocked, had our papers. The minute he opened doors, we started singing. The minute we were done, we looked at each other and just ran away. This guy thought we were nuts. We just ran away. That was the only time after that we could do anything. And yes, you get a lot of rejection, but when I actually got out there and door-to-door sales, cycling encyclopedias, it struck it with me. You must knock on all the doors, overcome that rejection. I would say I learned more about overcoming rejection for the 4 years I sold encyclopedias door-to-door, commission only. Then what
4
could ever
years.
imagine? Yep, 4 years. Wow. Average guy lasts 3 years. So yeah, and when I got out of the Navy in 64 to 65, 66, 67, 3 years. 3 years I sold books.
After the Navy.
Yeah, after the Navy. Yeah.
What was a big lesson you learned while being in the Navy?
Greatest lesson I learned is when I was in Washington, D.C. a couple of years ago and I received the Lone Sailor Award. I gave the lesson out. Being in the Navy, I was a normal, everyday human being, okay? And I became an officer many years after I got out of the Navy and an admiral, but that's a whole different story. But being in the United States Navy as an enlisted man, what I learned was I graduated from high school. I was a common person. How a bunch of common people could get together and be trained properly, but as a team, they achieve extraordinary results. Boy, did I learn that lesson, meaning that you can't do it alone. I'm a common person. But let's get us ordinary people together, be taught properly, and as a team, we achieve extraordinary results. That I learned out of the Navy. And I thought it was a great thing to do. And of course, how to really be neat with my clothes. I mean, really neat and package them. And how to listen to people when you may not agree with them. But there you have no choice. When they say do something, you just do it. Okay, the command. But I learned how to do that easily. So it was an easy segue for me to go along with other people I didn't agree with, but I would listen to them. Yeah. And I learned the famous word selling encyclopedias. When someone said no, or even not selling, somebody had we were talking about something, and someone has a different viewpoint than mine. I learned the magical words. I could appreciate that, however. So you could tell me that, oh, this is white. I said, well, no, it's black. We're not going to go back and forth. I'm going to say, I can appreciate that. I can say, however, from my viewpoint, with my lens, it turns out to be black, but we all see things a little differently. Sure. And here's why through my lens it's doing it. I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Sure.
It's like even in selling. Would you like this? No, sorry, we have too many lines. Well, I could appreciate that. I really can. However, if you would just take half of this order, I will not only guarantee it'll be one of the greatest things you'll ever have, but within 1 month, anything you haven't sold, out the door, or used, we'll take back and give you your money back. Now, that's fair enough, isn't it? No, I'm sorry, no. Why should I push your line? You're an unknown line, and I have all these other lines, the big ones. I could appreciate that. However, I know you're going to succeed with this. There's no way you can lose money. I'll come back, hold a class with you. I would do that 3 times. And in most cases, by the 3rd time, they at least bought 1 or 2 bottles from me. Wow. Sometimes they bought nothing from me, okay? Like for a whole week, I made 12 sales, and I think I'm pretty good at presenting something. It was tough, but I stuck with it. And then I made more and more as time went on.
I'm curious about what you learned in the Navy and how you applied it to business from this teamwork mentality. Was there something you learned in the Navy that actually you saw within the first year, 5 years of Paul Mitchell that you were able to apply, that accelerated the growth?
Oh, definitely. Is give normal people that are ordinary people an opportunity to achieve on their own. JP, I only knew so much. So to go to the next step, I needed a Lou Jacobellis, I need a Jim, I need Henrietta. I need more people to know what the heck they're doing, okay, because I don't. But I know if we get together as a team, we'll be able to succeed. And that's where I learned, and it was the hardest lesson to learn because I wanted to do everything, be in charge of this and that and that. In the late 80s, I couldn't do that anymore. So getting into 1989, 1990, it was let's bring the others in and work together as a team. Well, along the way, I was lucky. Some really brilliant people that had already done something great already got involved with us. But that's where I learned it. You can't do it all. You need a team to work with.
If you want to learn how to make more money and master money in your life, then check out this video right here.
I put my money, number 1, where I have total control. Number 2, where it is indestructible. Like the investment has to be indestructible. So I'm indestructible, right? I can invest in me, and I'm in control of that investment.